Oh, here we go. What's happening, film friends? Dave the Film Junkie here. All right, time to do a spoiler review of Mortal Kombat. I just actually watched it again today. Sorry this was late. It just seemed like this weekend got away from me, and there was family and stuff like that. And then yesterday, yesterday was plagued by laziness in the morning and binge watching a series, and then, kind of just two streams that ended up happening last night. So didn't get around to it yet. And then I was, okay, let me just watch it. When I got home, finished watching it, because I actually did put it on yesterday, but didn't have time to fully watch it. And it's a quick watch, it is a quick watch, hour and 50. Because I remember they said it was going to be 95 minutes, but then they increased it to an hour 50. So not too bad. But anyways, jumping into this thing, I mean, you guys have heard my review, you've heard my gripes. We've discussed it. We discussed it a lot, actually, on the vodka stream. A lot of disappointments and everything. It does start off strong with the Hanzo and Bihan, Sub-Zero and Scorpion, basically establishing this relationship. But there's just so much there when you look at the mythology, when you think back about the clans clashing and the fact that Sub-Zero, I mean, they tweak it a little bit where, because I guess like Sub-Zero it wasn't really supposed to, there was a whole clan, the rest of the clan. I mean, of course, this was just killing of the family. And then, I do appreciate the fact that you kind of see Hanzo, the fire happens and then he descends to the nether world's realm, I guess. And then, of course, he's going to get his revenge on Sub-Zero, which he eventually does, of course, at the end. That's what sucked about it. That was like, wow, no Scorpion until the end. You got little hints because Cole is a descendant of Scorpion, which people actually pinpointed that real quick. I think they gave it away when it came when it was like one of the trailers, right? Because he's looking in the mirror and then he has a vision of Scorpion. It's like, okay, he's the descendant of Hanzo, of Scorpion. So, and then of course when everything gets started, when the Cole storyline starts, it just is like, okay, family, okay, oh god, here, it's like it's just do we need that trope of my family. We were discussing about this. I think Paul brought it up on the vodka stream, and I was totally in agreement because it's just so out of place. The Cole character is so out of place. I get it because, nowadays, to have a white male lead is bad, especially when it comes to Mortal Kombat. It's like, okay, well, just make him Johnny Cage. It's essentially, he's Johnny Cage. Make him Johnny Cage. But then don't have the family aspect of it, have something different. Just make him Johnny Cage. Who cares? I think a lot of people would have been fine if, we had an Asian Johnny Cage. I think to change the race in that, I think people would have accepted it because, every time that there's always like when they change the race of a character, I always say, okay, make it make sense. Okay. Jason Momoa as Aquaman made sense. Okay. When it came to Will Smith as Deadshot, it made sense and it was fine. It worked. Get the proper actor and the proper kind of storyline and make it make sense. Sometimes they just don't do it. They just do it just for fucking brownie points and for the aesthetics. And it just doesn't make sense. And then people go, no, sorry, not going to work for me. But sometimes, you got to make it make sense. And that's why I was going, just make them Johnny Cage. But sadly, they did not. Which I get why when you get to the end, even though you see the poster, the poster is right there at the beginning. I spotted it this time, the Johnny Cage poster. I spotted it when it's like when you first go in there, but man. So then choppy. Holy shit, everything goes quick. And then Jax finds him and tells him everything. Got the mark too. So when it comes to the dragon mark, I did not like exactly. I thought it was unique to Cole, but no, it's just unique. Like, if you have that mark, guess what? You're going to be fighting in Mortal Kombat. Wow. I just thought I had ringworm in the shape of a dragon. That's all I thought it was. I was putting ointment on it and everything. Just wouldn't go away. Crazy. Now, but yeah, that's what it is. You bear the mark, and then if you kill the person who has the mark shows up on you. I didn't like that. I thought it was, really? That's where we're determining this? Oy. Not too good. And then, of course, Sonya, when he finally meets Sonya after Jax, like, of course, gets its arm ripped off. But I thought this was a cool scene going through there and kind of fighting Sub-Zero and gets his arms ripped off. I thought that scene was great. And then, but it was just funny because they really just, when they talk, when the family goes home and they're back in their house, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, can't Sub-Zero just find you? Which he eventually does. But then they talk about Jax like they knew him. I was like, wait, you just met the guy, and you're like, Jax this, Jax. I gotta go find Sonya Blade. And then he finds Sonya Blade, and then it's just a fucking exposition dump from her, and it's chopped up like a motherfucker. I mean, it's just boom, 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 boom. It's so chopped up, and it's so choppy. You could see it. You could see the scissors that Warner Brothers, just scissors everywhere, man. Or they got Baraka just fucking doing his thing. I know there's no Baraka, maybe in the next one, but there is a reptile, a form of a reptile. Disappointing somewhat because I like Reptile as a character. I like what they did in the 95 version of Mortal Kombat because, he was a reptile. I mean, the fucking VFX were shit, but still, the fact that he was falling around and he had the reptile stuff, and then he got, when they're in Outworld and he gets like swallowed in by that fucking statue, and then he turns into the ninja reptile and it goes reptile, and then him and Liu Kang have this fucking awesome fight. I still want to see that reptile, to be honest. So but yeah, all of a sudden it's like a reptile shows up, and yeah, they fight him. Kano is there too. Kano, introduction to Kano. I thought Josh Lawson did a great job as being that dick of that Kano could be. Some good lines, some good grilling, some good back and forth between him and Sonya. Sometimes it's a little bit too much. It's like, all right, can we shut him up? I was feeling like some of the other characters. I was feeling like Sonya especially. But yeah, and then he rips the heart out of it, and that was pretty cool. But it was just kind of going, all right, is that all we're going to get from like a reptile presence? And I'm going, yeah, I mean, to me, even though like I want the ninja reptile, I guess that's, when you think about it, I guess when you're trying to do a live action, that's probably what it's going to be. But what's also weird too, and I brought this up on the Vodka stream, was there's a scene where, I mean, when you first get introduced to Shang Tsung, and Sub-Zero's walking up, it is such a shitty, it's stupid scene. Like, this is Outworld. Here comes Sub-Zero walking up to this throne that Shang Tsung sits in, and then he goes, Shag's, and it just basically, it's another exposition dump. And it gets to the point where, like, he goes, when he says, that's no longer my name is Sub-Zero. And then it just cut. I'm like, that was an unneeded fucking scene. That was so unneeded. Just chop that one up. Who the fuck cares about that one? But anyways. And so talking about Raiden. Raiden was lame. Raiden sucked in this movie. I was disappointed in Raiden. Raiden should be, to me, should have been a lot better. I mean, maybe I'm just coming off of, the 95 version again, and Christopher Lambert was an awesome Raiden. But this Raiden sucked because he just seemed like a grumpy old douche. That's all he was doing. But I guess like he was trying to push his fighters and blah, blah, blah. No, he's just a grumpy douche. I didn't like it. I did not like it. Then you got this Arcana shit. That's what they're trying to, I think that's how you say it, Arcana. I didn't like this either, but apparently this is an element when it comes to like the later games. Like I said, I'm a classic Mortal Kombat player. The original trilogy I played religiously, didn't really get into later. Played 4 and then didn't really get into the later games. So I guess it's something new where basically when you have the mark, you have to be pushed. It's almost in the same parallels as, when you look at Deadpool and they're trying to push you to like summon your mutant gene so then you can get your power, your mutant power. It's like the same thing, but it's like they have to fight in Raiden's temple. So I'm going, okay, cool, I guess. I don't really like that because I'm going, that's how they get their power where they can do stuff. So that's how Liu Kang is throwing the fireballs. Okay. I mean, I could get some of that, but then it just got really stupid because Kano, who's just this douche who doesn't really know how to fight that well, during a dinner, he just gets so upset that all of a sudden his eye turns red and he could shoot a laser out of it. So we don't get the traditional Kano, covering on the eye where he has that. No, it's his Arcana or whatever. And I just kind of went, I thought you had to get it by, okay. So of course, Cole, our our main dude, he's having troubles. He's getting his ass kicked by, Kung Lao, especially. By the way, Kung Lao, all-star. All-star. I thought, the stuff they did with the flinging of the hat and everything, I thought that was great. I thought it was great. I thought Kung Lao was great, especially when his fatality, when he takes what's her name, Matara or something like that. See, she was a later character. Didn't really know who she was. He like gets on her wings and then just guides her right into like the fucking blade and slices her in half. Oh, that one I went, yes. That one I went, yes. That fatality was great. So he had the best fatality for sure. It's already getting dark. Sorry, guys. I'm talking too much. But so we got that, and then and then we also have Cabal, who was one of my favorite characters. Was my favorite character in Mortal Kombat 3. Loved Cabal, and I thought they nailed it. He's got this kind of, he's a douche. He's a fucking douche. And he talks shit, and then of course he convinces Kano to be like, "Hey, come on our side. Why are you working with these assholes? You're gonna be a lot better over here." And of course, Kano fucks everybody over, which he does. And then, okay, so then they're doing this fight thing at the temple, and then they're intertwining it because Cole just, Raiden being like, "Hey," but of course this was supposed to be meant for him to find his chi. His Arcana. He goes back home, and then Goro shows up. And I believe that there was some kind of introduction, a better introduction to Goro, I believe, because there's a scene where Shang Tsung is walking with a bunch of people. Melina's walking up. He's fucking dirty, and there's like a big, huge Goro statue. Something happened. There's probably easily like a half an hour cut out of this movie that maybe established that, and that probably make the movie better. But I think there was a way better introduction to Goro as opposed to just showing up in someone's fucking garage. It was so lame. This fight was so fucking lame because they're just fighting out in front of his house. And then all of a sudden, he gets his Arcana, and it's essentially the twine or whatever the hell that Hanzo wrapped around, the harpoon thing that wraps around completely with Cole. And then he can actually produce these fucking blades. Okay. And that's how he defeats. Saving his family, them trying to get out. They're trying to get away in a fucking truck from, I don't know, an 80s movie. This truck was literally like lifted from a Van Damme movie where he was saving some family. I'm like going, Jesus Christ, the tropes. It was just lame. Fucking lame. Even though, like, when Goro actually dies, you see his like organs pop out and stuff like that. I was like, cool. Okay, the gore is good. But Jesus Christ, some of this stuff sucked ass. And then even when it goes back to Liu Kang fighting Cabal, I mean, like I said, Cabal, they nailed Cabal, man. They really did. They're fucking with it, and the purple and like his whatchamacallits. I don't even know what those are called, but I thought they nailed it with him. And then of course they had Liu Kang summon like the dragon to just kind of bite him up. And then we had Jax. And I forgot his name. I didn't even write it down. My God. It was a later character, too, and I'm totally just drawing a blank. But they literally put him on the bridge, and you could see the nails, the spikes underneath. So he was like, all right, there's the pit. Is that going to be utilized? No, because Jax, his mark. Okay, so this is the question I have for Jax. I mean, nothing against the actor or anything. I thought he did a good job. But, okay, so Jax gets his arms ripped off, and then he shows up at Raiden's temple. And I guess, the people that work there in Raiden's temple, even though it's a temple and there's not really any technology or anything, they were able to give him robot arms. Okay. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's like a whole room that has these monk type people that just can create some shit like that. And they can literally just, hey, we're going to give arms to this guy. And of course, the arms are a little puny and he can't do anything with it until, guess what? He summons his Arcana, and then all of a sudden, he gets the fucking big, huge robotic arms. I ask you, what would his power have been if he didn't get his arms ripped off? What was his power? Maybe his power would have been, because in the game, one of his moves was to punch the ground to cause a little shock to knock over your opponent. Maybe he would have just had something like that. But then the Arcana or whatever just decided to just be like, no, we're going to give you bigger robot arms. That's what we're going to do. Cool. And then you're going to smash the guy's head. Cool. That was one of his fatalities. And, so he did do that. So I praise that fatality. That was cool. I like that. And then, yeah, pretty much all that. And then, so then this is where it gets a little wonky as well. It was weird because all of a sudden it was just like Raiden just goes, okay, they get into this, in the middle of all the realms. And then they do this whole, Cole does this fucking lame ass cringy, like motivational speech. And somebody does, we do this together and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, come on, Jesus Christ. And then he goes, Raiden, you could just make them go anywhere, right? So when the final battle kind of thing happens, I guess Raiden just takes everybody and just places them where they need to go. I was like, all right, cool. So then Kano and Sonia fight in her mobile home. And it was actually a pretty decent fight. I'm not going to lie. It was pretty cool. But then she kills him, finally, gets the mark, and then shows back up where everybody else is and already has her arcana or whatever. Already has her power, which is like these purple ring things where she could shoot, and she kills Melina right through that. I was like, damn, she works quick. All of a sudden, she just got the birthmark, got her power. Bam, let's go, Sonia. Fuck, I was hoping she was going to have like the kiss of death thing. Like she was going to be able to go and then fire or something. I don't know. But that was like, Jesus Christ. What? How did she get it so quickly? My God. Interesting. But anyways, and then, of course, you have the end fight with Scorpion and Sub-Zero and Cole. He was like that kid where you're like, we don't want to play with you, kid, but he keeps on coming back. Come on, guys, pass me the ball. Pass me the ball. It's like, no, I just want to see Sub-Zero and Scorpion fight. And of course, his family is in the whole ice gym, and he's punching to try to get them out. And then he gets involved with the fight. I'm going, no, I just want to see Sub-Zero and Scorpion fight, please. That's all I want to see. And it was good. That was good, too. Everything about that when it was them was good. But, of course, he had to rescue his family. And then, of course, they off Sub-Zero. And then there's this whole thing with Scorpion and Cole. And you kind of figure out, okay, yeah, I see the the correlation with the harpoon and shit like that. Okay, cool. And then Shang Tsung, being the douche that he still wants to just cheat, I guess. But I guess Raiden kind of cheated too. I don't know. It's like that whole thing. We haven't gotten to the tournament yet, but at the same time, I'm going, yeah, it's a good kind of prologue. It doesn't have to get to the tournament right away. And then, of course, right after, they were at the gym. They were at the gym that he fights at. Everything was frozen. And then the next scene is at the gym again, where everything's back to normal, right? Is that what I'm just trying to figure out? Was there something else cut out, Warner Brothers? Probably. You and your fucking scissors. But anyways, so then we get, of course, he says he's going to go to Hollywood because they had to get more warriors. Even though they thought they got all the warriors. Liu Kang says, I retrieved all the warriors and blah, blah, blah. But then there's more warriors. Johnny Cage is one of them. So then he walks past and you see the Johnny Cage poster. You don't see what he looks like. You just see like the belt. And that's it. And I'm just kind of going, okay. Where do we go from here? Well, we're going to see some more Johnny Cage. I don't know. Like I said, you've heard my gripes, and I've been talking for way too long. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know if there's ever going to be like a special features thing, or there's going to be some kind of director's cut that comes out, because apparently, according to Louis Tan, like one of his favorite fights got cut out. There's more fights. And I hope we do get some more. And then I hope if they greenlight a sequel, let's let the fucking people do their shit. Okay. Let's flesh it out. Let's do it. There's some really, I don't know, but I know there's things in here that I'm already not on board with, but I'm always open for a sequel to see where it goes. But that's pretty much it, guys, when it comes to me talking about this. A lot of interesting things. Oh man. Yeah. All right, that's all I gotta say. Like I said, we could probably talk. I could probably talk for a little bit longer about certain other things, but we won't do that. I think I pretty much covered it. Anyways, guys, there it is. Let me know your thoughts about it down below. What did you think about all the stuff talked about? Hit that like, thumbs up. Hit that notification bell so you know when I'm doing this stuff. If you want to join Film Junkie, hit the join button. If you want to join the Patreon's probably down below. Get some early access to things and all the perks with that. And then, of course, merchandise down below. All right, guys. Talk to you later.